Alfred,
Angela Courier. Renee Falconer. Orla Collins.
no, my Deputy Batista.
Good last name.
Batista.
Can
you spell it?
T-I-S-T-A.
BAPT.
See?
We're not officially on recording yet.
We are.
Okay, all right. All right, so we are holding this hearing tonight. For the record, August 19th, 6:27.
We're waiting for someone to join via Zoom.
Okay,
3 minutes.
let's give them 3 minutes then, which technically we're 6:30.
I did have a few questions too before we started. Would now be a good time, or should we wait for the Zoom person?
Let's wait 3 minutes if we could,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to, as best I can, lay out procedurally what our role is in this, and then
Right, that was kind of what my questions were about. It's,
yeah,
they weren't really answered by Danielle in the email that I got back today, and I
okay,
had only a few hours last night after I actually saw the notice,
okay,
because I probably wouldn't have seen it if Renee hadn't told me that I had an email.
yeah,
And then I was at work all day today. I got to actually see the actual complaint today at 1 p.m. for the first time.
Yeah.
Because the first one wasn't legible, so.
Christian, do you have, I think you said you did. Do you have a copy of the written,
There's a folder up there.
is that this? Oh, there we go, that's one, okay.
Somebody lying in?
Oh, but now Patrick's sitting in the wrong spot.
Just said.
Sorry. This is Attorney Rue with
Hi, everybody. I'm going to have one of our associates joining us too in a little bit.
Oh. The attorney.
David Rue.
Yes.
Are you GH?
Okay, are we expecting anyone else? Is that it? Okay. All right, so again, for the record, I have 6:30 on the dot. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. I think all of you know, so the three of us are the select board members here in town. So we had a notice of a vicious dog attack. And by my understanding is by statute, we're required to hold a hearing, having received one of those. So for the record, the purpose of this is to hold a hearing and hear evidence on this incident. We received a written notice August 18th from Angela Courier. Angela would be the plaintiff in this case. With regard to her dog, I'm just going to read this for the record. I'm ready to file a vicious dog complaint on August 13th, 2026. My dog Rocket was attacked by Michael Courier's dog, which led to my dog's death. This happened at my parents' house at 4497 Burton Hill Road in Irasburg. Rocket was staying with my parents, Fred and Rebecca Courier, while I was vacationing in Maine. Michael's, I believe she means residence or resides. Michael resides, in the camper trailer on Judy Courier's property at 4587 Burton Hill Road. I received a text from my mom at 3:45 stating that Rocket had been attacked by Chloe and that they were taking him to Lamoille Valley Vet. There he was sedated and they did imaging to see the extent of the injuries. I received another text message from my mom saying they were then headed to Burlington to a vet. Unfortunately, he passed away on the way to the vet. This was the second time Michael Courier's dog had attacked my dog. The first attack occurred on May 22nd. It was a single bite and my dog had 2 very large gashes on his back. I was able to treat those at home. They took several weeks to heal. I did not report this attack because it was unclear whether it had been provoked or not. The attack that killed my dog was completely unprovoked. I have concerns for the safety of my parents and their dog, as well as the other neighbors and pets. I would also like all of that cost to be paid in full by Michael. Thank you, Angela. With that, I want to first confirm that you should have received a copy of these procedural rules. I see nodding. Was that?
I did, yeah, I have them
Okay.
here, and that was part of my question too,
Yeah.
when I guessed.
Okay. So generally, we're going to follow this procedure. This is a procedure that is laid out in, as I understand it, in Vermont big dog books, whatever it's called, but also in a model procedure for this type of hearing. So it does begin with reading this warning, the complaint that we received, and also ensuring that the parties have received this information. For the record, I need to state that we remind everyone present that this meeting is mandated by state law 20 VSA 3546. It will be conducted in an orderly manner pursuant to our rules of conduct here. And if you're not familiar with that, generally what that means is if you would direct your responses to the board, or to me, if you like. What we will try to frankly discourage is discussion or argument across the room. So we'll give you a chance, each of you, to present your information and in full, but please direct it to us if you would. Let's see, all statements must be directed to the chair. So let's look at that. Okay, and then the last thing I need to do is have you take an oath, if you would, with me, which is anyone. So this is for anyone who is choosing to testify on behalf of Angel or Michael in this case. Okay, so if I could have you, I don't know You have to raise your arm or not, but if you could take the following oath under the pains and penalties of perjury, do you solemnly swear that the evidence you give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And, okay. So again, you both received the rules of order. Going to have you, if you would, hold your question until, well, actually, go ahead. If you have a question on procedure, go ahead.
Yes. So the first is, before addressing the factual allegations, I would like clarification of the legal authority for this hearing. My notice states that Chloe bit a person or persons and invokes 20 VSA 3546. No person was bitten. The complaint concerns an incident between two dogs. Procedural rules provided to me likewise state that 3546 applies when a dog or domestic pet bites a person off the owner's premises and that person requires medical attention. If the town is proceeding under a different provision of the Irasburg ordinance, I respectfully ask that the provision be identified for the record.
Okay.
Because it doesn't match with the complaint, because in the complaint there was no person bit.
Okay. I think I will let the plaintiff, bring forward information on that, but there is, I think in terms of why there's a hearing, if you look at the town of Irasburg's ordinance for keeping the control of dogs.
Well,
the
then
town of
I actually
Irasburg,
don't have, it hasn't, I couldn't find it online anywhere.
but
so
you live in Irasburg, right?
I know.
And I believe this comes from that. I could be wrong, but it says under item G, I'll just read this: vicious domestic pet or animal means a domestic pet or animal that attacks any person or causes any person to reasonably fear, attack, or bodily injury such that from such animal, as unless the person is trespassing on the property of the owner of the animal. The term shall also mean by any animal that, while running at large, attacks another domestic pet or domestic animal as defined in 20 VSA 3541. So I think that
3541.
I think that is the section of the statute that requires us to do this and why this is germane.
Okay, so that would follow for the model rules as well, which also reference 3046. Thank you. Which
Okay,
is my next question about the model rules, because they also, I wasn't sure if they were adopted by Irasburg, because the copy of the model rules that I got just had blank placeholders in it.
Yeah.
And didn't appear that it had actually been adopted by the town.
yeah, I don't know if officially we have or if we need to for purposes of this. But I can tell you it's a format that is generally followed for proceedings like this, and that includes outside of this things like BCA hearings and similar proceedings where we're required to hold a hearing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And I had, sorry, I had also requested a continuance. If that's something I can do now, whether, because I haven't had much time to prepare, I had less than 24 hours notice from the time that I saw it. And I wasn't provided a legible version of the complaint, and I wasn't able to see that until 1 p.m. today. So I'd like to respectfully request a postponement or continuance for this hearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna deny that.
Understood?
And we're gonna move forward. So, I'm gonna ask the, complaint in this case, to, back up. We need to just confirm that we don't have any, disclosure of, conflict of interest or ex parte conversations. We're good to proceed then. Okay, so at this time, we'll accept written information from, in this case, the victim. I think we have,
I have my saying, I'm the one who was They were 10 minutes at the time.
Okay,
And then 3 coffees for people.
yeah. And would you mind, just for the record, because we have to record this, just if you would, in general, state your name and then what you're
Rebecca Courier, I'm the person
presenting.
who was attending the dog at the time of the attack and witnessed the attack.
Okay. Do you wanna read this? Would you like me to read it?
I don't know if you guys wanted to hear.
It's okay, but we want to do one stuff.
Do you? Would you like to just summarize it in your words and you can leave out details that you think might,
Must be harmful. I was picking berries down at the edge of my driveway,
yeah,
in the hedgerow of our driveway, there's a small berry bush right next to the driveway. And I had finished picking on the top, and my dog and Rocket had come down with me. And we're just roaming around down there as I pick. And I went around to the other side of the bush because I had picked that area. And I heard a disturbance, so I went around. And Jude was coming across the lawn with her side by side. At that time, I didn't see Chloe come up at all. I just heard Rocket. And I could hear barking. I went around and checked, and Jude came right over after that and said, "You have to do something." And I tried to get him off, but he wouldn't get off. He kept fighting him and fighting. Finally, Michael heard and came up. I picked up Rocket and put him in it two side by side and brought him up to the house, and I got Fred who's in the hill. And we tried to call the vet, but the vet was not open last week and this week. And so I didn't know what to do, so I brought him to the vet on Lake Region Road, but there was not a vet there, just an office person. And that person gave us a couple numbers, so we ended up taking him to Lamoille Valley. And I rode in the back with him. He could hold him when we went down. And they cared for him there. They did x-rays, they gave him oxygen, they gave him an IV, they clipped and tended his wounds, and had him packed and called Burlington and packed and ready. And he had our electric car, which wasn't, I didn't think we could go there and come back. So I called Hunter and he brought Aunt Jude's van down. And so she let us use her van to bring in to Burlington, and Hunter drove our car back. And about 400 feet before we got to Burlington, and passed the event. I watched it. To say the least, I haven't slept very well for the thing. Having a hard time with the trauma.
thank
Keep
you.
waking up and seeing vision. And then our dog had 2 spots on the back of its leg yesterday, which I thought were hot spots. So I called the vet. I got medicine, went up. I sent pictures. They said, "Well, come out to get medicine," but they needed me to clip it for the hot spots. When I clipped it, there's 2 puncture wounds about that far apart on her leg. So I think she's been bit also. Well, not as bad, of course, but so I'm fearful to go to the mailbox without my husband. Or to go down my driveway. And this wasn't the first time that Rocket was attacked by Chloe. It happened once with Fred.
Am I able to respond to that?
Hang on, I'll give you an opportunity here in a bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do, thank you, Becky, I'm gonna ask for the,
I have
board mem-
pictures.
I'm gonna ask for the board members, if they to ask any questions that you might have, with respect to the complaint or the situation. I have one, for the record, this was on your property, correct? Where the,
Yeah,
Yes.
like in the middle of our north to south part. It's right next to the driveway.
Yeah,
Mike, if you have
no,
questions,
No.
feel free, this will be the time. And there'll be another opportunity, I believe, but. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next, is I'm gonna invite Michael to, respond, with any evidence, information that you might have.
Okay, well, it's my understanding from, the animal control officer is that this hearing concerns the August 13th incident. Could the chair clarify whether unrelated previous incidents are relevant to the determination being made tonight? Because finding a couple spots on a dog, that doesn't mean that my dog had anything to do with those bites on Sierra. I know they've gotten along well, and I have more to add on the May 22nd incident that Angie mentioned in her complaint, so I will bring that up, even if it's not relevant, just because it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think our focus is on the situation with the dog being attacked and killed. If there is credible information to suggest that it's happened in the past or that other people have been bitten or other animals, I think we're gonna take that into account.
Okay, and I know also it keeps being stated that Chloe attacked Rocket, but to my knowledge, no one actually saw that happen. Like, we don't actually factually know what happened leading up to that altercation. And on the May 22nd incident, as I have here, the complaint also characterizes the May 22 incident as a prior attack by Chloe upon Rocket. Since that allegation was included in the complaint, I would like to correct the record. I did not personally witness that incident. Judy Courier did witness it and described it to me afterward. According to her account, Rocket was the aggressor toward her smaller dog, Archie, and Chloe intervened to protect Archie. And she had told me that Rocket had caught him and had him pinned to the ground, and that is why Chloe intervened. And Judy also told me that Fred did not consider Chloe to have been at fault in that incident and felt her intervention was justified. And yeah, no, that was it. There is that she intervened and pulled Rocket off of Archie to save him.
she then intervened.
And then did not continue.
Jesus.
Okay, Fred,
Yeah.
yeah, Fred, let him finish,
So
please.
as I was told, that the situation was that normally Rocket aggressively chases Archie, but can't catch him because he's so fast. But Rocket had caught Archie off guard that day and had him pinned to the ground. And that's when Chloe came up and attacked Rocket and got him off of Archie. And that the escalation did not continue beyond that. So she didn't continue attacking him. She intervened in a fight that Rocket had already started. And I wasn't told about that incident for 2 weeks. I didn't hear about it from Angie or Fred or Becky. It came up in passing conversation with my aunt. And at that point, I was hesitant to let her go up there. And she said, no, Fred likes her. She's fine being up there. No one has a problem with her being up there. So I didn't take measures to contain her after that, because the apparent quote was that dogs are just gonna do what dogs are gonna do. So that's regarding that May 22nd incident, and if Fred would like to confirm or deny any of that, I would like to hear it now.
Okay, so before we go there, I'd like to, do you have anything else that you want to present, Michael, before I'd like to invite the board to ask questions.
Okay, yeah, I
Same
don't
way.
have anything to present really. I mean, I can state what happened that day or whatever you're looking for.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to invite, Pat to ask any questions.
So
I have one just for the record. Do we, is the dog registered here in town?
Not yet. I spoke with Renee about that. I do have her rabies vaccination papers with me. So I was gonna follow up with that tomorrow when I'm off work and the town clerk is open.
But am I understanding correctly, as of when this happened, the dog was not registered?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, Pat, or
So Chloe is your dog
Yes.
and Rocket and Archie are your dogs. Or Rock, okay. And where do you live, Michael?
4587 Burton Hill. Right below the house.
House and roof and my garden.
Two up from the castle.
Yep. And this incident happened on Fred's property, not yours, correct?
That's correct. There's a field that connects both properties, so it's, you know, the line's not clear for a dog that can't see the property line on the map.
Right. But that's your job.
Right, and that's, like I said,
That's-
she was not unwelcome there. She went up there frequently. No one had ever complained about her being there. It was just kind of, she ran back and forth, and I'd never talked to them about it. I had mentioned it to my Aunt Judy, and she said that they had no issue with Chloe being on the property and that they liked her and that was fine. And even after that May 22nd incident, which was a huge concern to me, because I know she is a big, powerful dog, and I didn't want anything to happen, especially while I was gone. And I was assured that everything was fine and everyone was okay with her being.
questions? Okay. All right, I'm gonna invite anyone else from the group. I don't know if Renee, if you're planning on offering any testimony or, sorry, Fred, so
Do you want-
if you have any other,
have any other-
information that you want us to consider in the matter, that's,
Well, no, but, the day his dog come up and attack, Rocket.
He was fixing the culvert for Judy so she can get across with her track chair, cause she goes to
Yeah.
trail up around.
yeah,
He was down, doggy daycares at Rocket. That's why Rocket was usually at our house during the day. It was on our property where he was fixing,
yeah,
where that happened. He says he couldn't blame the dog because Rocket had been getting after Archie. Chloe,
And we had that fixed.
yeah,
By then.
Yeah.
We had Collins auto.
we have a shot collar to
Yeah,
keep him from attacking Archie.
and that's.
And he and Archie are similar in size, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Fred says when Chloe bit Archie, that Rocket that time, he punched
I kicked her in the head, or punched her in the head.
to get her
To
to stop.
love her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I tried
Beautiful,
everything to get her to stop. She did stop.
And what I want to say, I don't know where these papers all went, what describes these dogs.
Mhm.
And, I know we went online and one place. It said that. Every, every sentence, it said destruction and. Their dogs to be out in the wild. Out west or in Russia,
Not,
not
Not-
in Vermont.
I have copies of those too, we saw those.
And it's.
If we had realized that before, we never would have allowed.
I would have been down here 3 years ago when you brought that dog.
Okay,
Talk to
Fred,
them, talk to them.
3 years ago when you brought the dog to the town. If I realized that there's such a vicious and it's not a dog.
It's okay.
It's
It's,
the person who owns the dog.
don't,
okay,
The dog is bred and that's what it's for. The person is. Whatever.
So if I could respond, if we could avoid personal attacks in this issue, that would be nice. But also they're not just vicious dogs as he portrays, they're just a large livestock guardian breed. Like that is what Caucasian Shepherds are. And she has been outside pretty much unsupervised and unrestricted for over a year, maybe even 2 years. Even this winter, she just chose to sleep outside because she is a Siberian breed. She loves the cold. This whole winter, she slept inside at night, maybe 3 nights. And that's why I got comfortable with giving her that freedom to just be out and patrol the yard because she wasn't really dog aggressive except for a couple little incidents. And she's definitely not people aggressive. Like she greets everyone that comes into the yard, whether it's FedEx drivers, UPS drivers, or the girls that drop off food for my aunt. I even look out and see the girls like that.
okay,
Can I continue?
Fred, just a minute, let him finish,
And
please.
even the girls that would come and deliver the food to my aunt, they got their cell phones out and she's happy and jumping up and down. And even strange dogs, they have brought their dogs down onto our property before without any warning. And Chloe's been fine with them there. My other aunt Maureen had brought her dogs down and they've always interacted fine. And there's never been any indication to me that she would do something like this. Other than the story that I was told about that May 22nd incident, where it was made clear to me that that was Rocket's issue and that Chloe intervened because he was the aggressor and he was attacking another dog.
Angela, do you have anything else that you wanted to say or present to us? This was your dog, correct? Yeah.
Yes, Rocket is mine, that, Rocket, well, he would get after my Aunt Judy's dog, and chase him around, but again, that's on my parents' property. So I mean, there is a leash law in Irasburg, correct?
There is.
Yes, and then, as far as. I deliver the mail. And I personally don't feel comfortable getting out to deliver packages at my Aunt Judy's house. When Chloe is out. And I know, the other mail carrier, Cindy, also was concerned. And has. Was asking me if she was okay, and it's, well, now I'm terrified to even go there. So.
Okay, once again, I wanna open it up for the board members for any questions that you guys might have. Yeah, what's that?
So. I'm listening down this and. Fixing out the dog, it's 7 days, I have a large breed herding dog. And when people come to my house. So let me bring on, my dog does not ever. Leave my pet. He's 128-pound Rottweiler, or any ever. And when people come to my house. If they're strange, I put them inside. I'll put them in a crate. And he would come in here and lick you. but I don't trust it. I don't trust that one little small thing is gonna happen. And I'm not gonna have on my shoulder, and I'm speaking me personally. I'm not gonna have on my shoulders that an incident happens with a dog's bad enough, if someone's child. I'm not carrying that to bed with me, and I wouldn't think anyone here would want to carry it to bed with me that. And I told my wife, you know, when we let our dog out, he's a male, he's unneutered. I'm the boss, and if I'm home, if I'm not home and I'm with him, we got 100 acres, I got leash. On that 100 acres, because I don't want him wandering off, because he will wander, and my wife, you know, he just won't listen to it. So I don't believe you can take that dog breed and say it shouldn't be here, it shouldn't be there, but I do think that you can say that if you have a dog breed that has that potential to be a herding dog and an aggressor, and even if it's not an aggressor, when you start packing a dog that's 80 to 100 plus pounds, and one little thing sets it off, that dog needs to be kept under control on its own property, on a leash. Bottom line, you know, I made it real clear to my wife and my children, if you let my dog off a leash and he wanders somewhere else, he's gone. And now it's gonna happen once, because that's all it thinks is once. I got a lot more emotions to say here, but it's not, I guess, probably, it's personal stuff for this stuff. I'm gonna keep it with that, you know?
Yep.
So,
Okay. So what I'm gonna look for now is a motion, either adjourn, and meaning if we adjourn, we would continue at a later date. If for some reason we didn't feel we had everything we need. Otherwise, I would be looking for a motion to close this proceeding. And we would, we could do one of two things: enter into public debate, deliberation on it, or deliberate in private. And we would then issue a written decision within 30 days.
I'll make the motion to stay and make a decision in public.
Do you second that, or do you have a different opinion?
I would rather do it private completely, but
I think I would too. Just to take, you know, there's clearly emotion in this, and
I don't want to agree with the things.
and I think we want to review the evidence in front of us as well. So do I have a motion
I mostly do that.
to, for the record,
The 30-day.
okay, and deliberate in private on the information that we have, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna back up for. I'm gonna give you each like 2 minutes more. Don't repeat something you've already said, please, and make sure it's to this date and incident, if you would. Fred?
Can I ask one question before we have closing statements?
Yes, just a minute, if you would, please. Go ahead, Fred.
Okay, what I'd like to say is, I don't wanna see the dog thrown. I mean, if the dog could be brought out, Oakland or Minnesota somewhere, and have a, you know, 1,000 acres to run in, that's what I wish. And I know this is beyond this here. But this fellow right here is a collie, not the dog.
Okay,
Okay.
Don't,
I'm gonna stop you there, Fred.
yeah.
Michael, again, keep it brief and please
And-
on
yeah.
topic, if you would.
No one's asked me the measures that I've taken since then. Would you like to hear those now?
The what?
The measures that have been taken to contain Chloe since then. She is
Sure.
no longer freely roaming properties. She's kept inside now whenever I'm away from home. She goes inside when I leave for work, because I used to leave her out, and you know, she was fine. Her outdoor activity is actively supervised and controlled with her e-collar. Access to the neighboring property is now prohibited. I've resumed boundary and recall training, and I've already begun constructing a physical enclosure near my residence using materials that I immediately have available to me. It's an immediate temporary physical boundary while I plan to construct a stronger permanent fencing solution. These measures were initiated voluntarily because I recognize that the previous arrangement, in which Chloe had substantial freedom to patrol the surrounding area, can no longer continue. And what I'm asking the board to do, I understand the town's interest in ensuring another incident does not occur. I believe the management and containment measures I have already implemented directly address that concern. And I am willing to comply with reasonable containment measures necessary to keep Chloe under control. I respectfully ask that any requirements imposed be proportionate to the factual evidence and take into account the substantial measures I have already voluntarily implemented. And I do understand the seriousness of what happened on August 13th. Rocket died following an altercation with Chloe, and I am not minimizing that loss. I personally ran to the scene when I became aware of the altercation and physically separated Chloe from Rocket. I did not witness how the encounter began, and I can't speculate about anything I did not see. What I can control is what happens going forward. Chloe's previous freedom to patrol the surrounding area ended after this incident. She is now contained when I'm absent, her outdoor activities controlled, etc. And that is that. She's not a free dog anymore. She's lost her pass.
Okay,
When she's outside, I am outside. When I come inside, she comes inside. Once I have a suitable fenced in area, then I can think about leaving her out, but not until then.
okay. Michael, clearly you read from something there. Is it possible we could get a copy of that just to admit that into?
You could make a copy. I don't.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, and we had a question on Zoom here. I can.
Yeah, this is Attorney Dave Rue from SBNF Attorneys in Burlington. The one thing I have not heard yet, I understand Chloe's not licensed. Is Chloe vaccinated for rabies?
Yes, she is, and I have her documents here with me.
Okay, thank you. That's an important piece of information that needs to be in the record.
Could you provide copies of that?
I did bring an additional copy of that.
Okay, thank you.
Who is who represent?
Us.
If it's not valid, I had her blood all over me. Do I need rabies shots?
No, the dog's vaccinated.
Dogs.
The dog is.
Can you say that a little louder just for me?
The dog is, he does have a current rabies vaccine. The dog's vaccinated, so you know, don't need rabies shot.
Would I have needed to know that earlier?
You need to see the original. I have the tag. You like that.
It's not really blood, it's the saliva. It's not blood, it's saliva that means that rabies. It was probably fun in the lab,
No, we wanted to make copies.
Tricia, is there anything you can read from that into the
Yeah, it says,
audio record, or what the date of it is, or?
sure, this is from Selena Hunter's vet practice, the animal doctor. It says that Chloe, the Caucasian Shepherd, was vaccinated on May 7th, 2025, and it's a 3-year vaccine, so the next one is due
Good.
In May 2028.
We wanted to make copies of this statement too. Yeah, you could.
Okay. And I'm gonna go back to the.
Extra notes.
I'm gonna go back to the motion. I believe we have a motion on the floor to close the meeting and to deliberate in private. And to render a decision within 30 days.
Yep. Right.
And I'll second that.
One
Okay, good. All right, we will, we'll close the proceeding, at 7:10 for the record. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We're ready now. We'll go here.
I'm not second. I don't
We got a slow down if we want to set a time.
Thank you, David,
know.
Yeah.
Attorney Rue.
Yes, do you guys need our assistance for deliberations now, or you want to chat later?
Hang on. Yeah.
Yes, he says yes.
Please.
Don't go, don't go.
Also, extremely.
You're all, thank you,
So for the lawyer.
thank you, Becky. Brett.
I'm gonna stop the recording.
Go on, say.
I'm happy to.
Go on, should say.
Yeah, if you'd be willing, that would be great.
Yeah.